Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, hope you're all doing right out there. So, something that has always been there on my channel throughout the years are these jeans. Well, not specifically this pair, but this brand, RHOK jeans, RHOK. I have worn RHOK jeans every single day pretty much, apart from in the summer when I wear shorts from around the house. But generally I've worn them, whether I'm on a bike or not, for, well, I don't know, 7, 8 years, something like that, maybe even longer than that at this point. Now, unfortunately, RHOK appears to be gone, and I thought, well, I'll make a video and explain to the best of my understanding what happened, but also cover the history of like how I got to being in a position where I wear the same jeans every day. So many years ago, many moons ago, it's probably 10 years ago at this point, Jake the Garden Snake got dealing with a company called RHOK who made motorcycle Kevlar jeans, and then after a short time, basically Jake suggested, hey, why don't you send some to Spicy, see what he thinks of them. Great, I love being over here. So that's how I got involved with RHOK jeans. RHOK jeans itself started as an Australian guy, basically started a company up. He teamed up with a guy in India, and they made motorcycle jeans, but they weren't trying to make cheap rubbish jeans. His plan was to make affordable but very good jeans, and preferably better than the brands he was competing with, which cost twice as much. So back up to the point that I say Jake's been dealing with him, I'm now on board trying them out, and time just goes on. Basically the jeans proved themselves to be amazing. RHOK was very happy for Jake to do testing. Like, he literally put sandbags inside the jeans, attached it to a wooden frame and pulled it behind a dump truck along a concrete road to see how hard wearing they were. Not many companies would be happy for you to do that. We saw anecdotal evidence of people crashing with the supermoto guys in them, and pretty much all that's holding these jeans together at this point is the seams, like the belt and the Kevlar in between the patches. All the actual like denim materials all torn up, but still they hold together. And compared to other Kevlar jeans around at the time, they were really cheap. So they were really good jeans, which were really cheap. Now, as I say, I tried them out, and the reason I've worn them basically daily ever since is because they are the most comfortable pair of jeans I've ever worn. I know they're going to give me a reasonable minimum protection in, you know, a low speed crash, but they are known to do well in higher speed crashes. You obviously just don't want to do that more than once probably, and it's not going to be as good as having leathers, but you know, it's better than normal jeans. So as with all things, if I put my name behind it, I've tested it, I trust it, I know it's going to be good, and I think that's proven out by, you know, just how much I've worn them over the years. But I have a problem now. This morning, the reason I'm making this video has come up to my mind is because I had to fix this pair of jeans, and I only have 3 pairs left. One of them's very old. These ones are slightly newer, but they had a hole form in the crutch, which is something that happens to RHOK jeans after many years use. It is the most hardware area, you know, your balls up into the tank. Or your legs pulling backwards and forwards, it does stretch the material there and it comes apart a bit. I've sewn mine back together on this occasion, it's absolutely fine. But as I say, I've only got 3 pairs of these jeans left, and once they're gone, because I recently looked at RHOK's website and it says RHOK is closed until further notice. Now, I only knew about them closing in the UK, and this is where I'm getting to explain why RHOK was stopped being sold in the UK, and also why you didn't see, like, you know, the cheaper gloves I used to wear, the MRT gloves and the MRT stuff, why that's all gone away. The thing that ended the sale of RHOK jeans in the UK was a change in European law. Basically, before, the law was if the material you're making the goods out of is approved, then any, you know, jeans or jackets or whatever you make out of that material will be approved to be accepted as a motorcycle grade piece of equipment. So you can buy a qualifying roll of material and put something together out of it and sell that as motorcycle gear. Now, they changed that, because for obvious reasons you can have people putting together something that the material may be okay, but the way it's put together means it's just going to fall apart in a crash, and that's terrible. So I totally get why they brought this regulation in, but the problem, the downside of it is smaller companies like RHOK, who were trying to actually make a really good product for a decent price, got destroyed by it, because now what you have to do is not just get that roll of material approved, you have to basically get the garment itself approved, fully constructed. So as you can imagine, the idea of having maybe, I don't know, maybe you have 3 different designs of jeans and you use a couple of different colours you're going to have to send off an example of each one of those to one of the bodies that tests this stuff to get it approved, and that's super, super expensive. Now obviously you need a lot of capital to do that, so you're going to have to put a massive investment in your product to continue to sell your product, but then obviously you're going to have to put the price of your product up, and if one of the things that people particularly liked about your product was it wasn't that expensive, it's going to be a very sour hit when they realise the price has jumped up quite a lot, and it's just because of a new regulation they're having to pass. So I think basically it was untenable, the idea to continue selling this gear in the UK. Now I don't know if that's had knock-on effects. It means the factory that was making them has also had to close because they can't sell nearly as much stuff as they used to sell, or what, but they stopped selling RHOK and MRT stuff in the UK a couple of years ago now because of that. And yeah, so I checked the website recently to see if I could possibly get a pair of them anyway, if they were still being sold in America or Australia, and yeah, the RHOK website says closed until further notice, so I guess that's RHOK. And it's a real shame, as I say, because it was a small company that legitimately wanted to just make good, affordable jeans at a good price for people. It wasn't a money-making scheme. It wasn't trying to take advantage of anyone or try and make out it was better than it was. They were overbuilt and underpriced. And fair play to him, because RHOK brought protection, minimal protection over, you know, normal jeans, to a much more affordable level at the time that wasn't really rubbish. Because you could get cheap jeans, but they were pretty rubbish, and the most expensive ones were like a couple of £100, and they weren't any better than the RHOK jeans in testing. Now some people have asked me in the past when I've explained this, well, why did that happen in the UK? We're not in the EU anymore, because we still follow all their rules, and I think we pretty much always will, regardless of whether we're actually officially in or not. And for the same reason, I believe decorative chrome is no longer going to be available on motorcycles in the future. There'll be other options that won't make any great difference, but yeah, chrome itself will probably be going away with the ban that they've brought in. But anyway, that's a bit of a tangent there. But yeah, that's basically what happened to RHOK jeans. That was my relationship with them over the years. It was great. I even earned a few quid, you know, from the commission codes that I was very honest about. Always said that it was a commission code. But the fact is, I wore them every day. I never had a question about how good they would be. I mean, the other thing is, one of the other reasons I wore them every day, I forgot to mention this, was because of the knee pad armour and my hurt knees from a crash. I can kneel on the ground in these comfortably, whereas I can't with normal jeans because it hurts my kneecaps. And I also do a lot of melt detecting, and you know, that's great for kneeling on stones. And also the material is so hard wearing that even after, you know, many hours of kneeling in sand and metal detecting and stuff, they still held through. So that's why I was so behind them, because I tested them so well and was like, no one can argue that these aren't worth their money. Although obviously some people in the past said they weren't happy with them for some reason, which could be a fit issue, or it could be even a one-off issue. You know, mistakes always happen, but in all the pairs that I ever got, the ones that, you know, I've heard of, Jake used to sell them, for Christ's sake, they were good. They were good, trustworthy jeans, and people loved them who got them. So yeah, so long, RHOK. You served us very well. Obviously in the future I'm going to need to work out a replacement pair of jeans, because I need Kevlar jeans. You know, I need to live, I've lived like this for 10 years, I'll continue living like this with permanent knee pads. It might look weird, I'm sure I've had many looks over the years, like, why has that guy got like knee pads under his jeans? I don't care. It gives me the facility to protect my knees when I ride my bike. It also means that I can jump from off the bike to on the bike without really needing to change clothes. It makes it all a lot faster. Am I going to get through that one? Yes, I am. Space for me. And obviously the problem now is that with that legislation in place, no one's going to really be able to sell cheap Kevlar jeans that are good, because, you know, they've all had to pay so much more for all the testing and stuff. So yeah, it kind of sucks all round, doesn't it? As I say, I've got 3 pairs left, and I'm going to make those pairs last as long as I possibly can. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting or useful. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and if you want to support me, I would very much appreciate that. Then please consider doing that through Patreon, grabbing stickers, or one of the other ways you can find down in the description. Catch you next time.